life in the zone where the cannons explode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to In the Trenches. My name is Ian Beckles, and this whole podcast is made possible by Manny and Gordon Lawyers. And you can go to fightnegligence.com, the best lawyers in town. And our whole creative loafing deal has been going on for a long time. Hopefully we have some updates coming up soon because, our court system takes its time. But if you have anything as far as legal, it's Manny and Gordon is the way to go. All right, so the Buccaneers season has officially started. They're at training camp. If you live here in Tampa Bay area, I don't need to tell you that it's hot as hell. And every year people say it gets hotter. There's nobody's going to tell me it's not hotter than it normally is. I don't care what you say. First of all, I think the other day 2 days ago, it was 100 for the first time ever. Well, that's telling you it's hot as it's ever been. And, I've been to a couple events at the beach and I was outside in the shade. That's a different feel. I couldn't imagine, wearing pads, running out there. Now, the guys aren't wearing pads right now. And I'm just happy that, it wasn't 1990 and Ray Perkins wasn't the coach because he wouldn't give a rat's ass. We'd be out there. And, there's a couple people that I've talked to. I've been blessed to talk to some of the younger generation linemen, and I like to let them know what we went through. And like I said, I'm not that old. I just turned 58, but I'm a couple generations away. And I remember having a discussion with DeMar Dotson, the former Buccaneer tackle, explaining what we did. And he looked at me and goes, "That's not true." And I go, "It's 100% true because these guys come in and they get in here for about a week. They practice once a day usually. They don't put pads on. If you do hit on a Monday, you can't hit again until Wednesday." So it sounds normal. But back in the day with Ray Perkins, these guys just took a week of just helmets. With Ray Perkins, if we reported Monday, we put the pads on Monday. And we would go Monday through Friday, 2 padded practices a day. At every practice, we would do one-on-one pass rush. Every practice, we would do 9-on-7. Sometimes we would do goal line twice. Like, he didn't give a shit. Okay, so if it was 100 degrees out there, he still wouldn't. He still wouldn't. So it was 95, but I couldn't imagine being out there in the middle. We were in the middle of Tampa and Pepin Root over there at UT. That's the hottest place on the planet. But over there, One Buck Place, I couldn't imagine having to go out there and put pads on in this day and age. So the season's is on us. What I don't do, I have a lot of people around me who are big Buccaneer fans, as am I. And the positivity is everywhere. And, people are, they're saying, "What do you think about the Bucs? What do you think about the Bucs?" And that's the worst question ever, because if I had to give you my prognosis or I guessed every year, I'll be wrong most of the time, because you just don't know. There's so many factors that go into whether you're a good football team or not. Is Tristan Wirfs back yet? If Tristan Wirfs doesn't come back to week 8, your body does funny things now. If Tristan Wirfs doesn't come back to week 8, you can't tell me they're going to go, 6-2 in those first 8 games. Not having Tristan Wirfs is a big deal. I don't care what anybody says. Chris Godwin has not been out there yet. Now, from what I hear, Ekbuka looks fantastic. And people that knew him in college at Ohio State and people that saw him in the mini camps and the people that see him now in training camp, if there's one position or 2 positions that you can really see what somebody can do in training camp, it's wide receiver and DBs, because they don't really pass too many licks. You can't really figure out if an offensive lineman is great until you put pads on, or a D lineman, or a linebacker, or a running back. But a wide receiver and DB, they can pretty much do their drills full speed in the offseason. And for what I hear, Ekbuka is way ahead of his time as far as his knowledge of football, and that's all good because he's going to play a big part. Ted Johnson, who is the 7th rounder, I've heard good things about him. Rookie, he's shining. And they say Mike Evans looks great. So Mike Evans is going to look great now because Mike Evans is a consummate pro. So I guarantee he's in great shape right now, and he's going to come into the season in great shape. But Mike Evans is one of those guys where there's few players that I would say this don't don't put him out there. Like, I don't want to see any Mike Evans in the preseason. I don't even want to see him in practice. Just get Mike ready for week 1 and then take care of him, because Mike, being Mike, is going to want to be on that field all the time. He's never going to want to come out. But I think you're going to have to temper him down a little bit this year, having hopefully Egbuka out there and Chris, Godwin back hopefully soon. You don't want to wear Mike Evans out at the beginning of the season, because we're going to need Mike Evans at the end of the year, clearly. In order for you to make it in the playoffs and make it through the playoffs, you got to have, that moxie. And I don't think the Buccaneers could possibly have that moxie without Mike Evans. But, through these last in the trenches, I've been breaking down different positions. And today I'm going to break down the running back and the tight end position. Running back, since I left the league, running backs were way more important back in the day. Like Emmitt Smith was important and Terrell Davis was important. Maybe not Terrell Davis, because Denver was more of a systematic thing. But I grew up with Walter Paytons and Barry Sanders and all these different great running backs and Franco Harris's. There's not a lot of those anymore, okay? Because running backs don't stick around a long time. So to me, it's more about the system and more about the offensive line. But there's a couple running backs out there that have, I guess, special talents. Bucky Irvin has some special talents now. Okay, let me say that before I get to the rest of Bucky Irvin. And Bucky Irvin, in the open field, maybe as good as anybody in the league right now. He's shifty, he's got young legs, and he's a son of a bitch to bring down. Okay, last year he had 1,122 rushing yards, which is a beautiful season. 47 receptions, and that's part-time. He wasn't full-time. So if he was the guy full-time, maybe 1,500 yards, but I'm not sure he's that guy. I'm not sure we want Bucky Irvin to rush for more than 1,122 yards. I would stick him right around there, 1,200 tops. You don't want Bucky Irvin rushing for 1,500 yards, because, once again, last year, one time he rushed for 25 times. One time. And he couldn't finish the game. So, an NFL running back, you got to take care of him these days. There's not too many Derrick Henrys out there. So Bucky Irvin is going to be the man for the first time going into the season. There's different pressures. Okay, they're gonna know he's back there. They're gonna be sending blitzes with 260-pound cats. Sometimes you got to pick him up. So we'll see how Bucky Irvin matures. Now, we always have Rachaad White to fall back on. I just think Rachaad White's the unsung hero, definitely last year. I thought he did more than people gave him credit for. I think he had about 1,000 total yards, 51 receptions. So, he put in work. And a lot of times, Rachaad White, it's the work that he doesn't put in that makes me, recognize him. He does the grimy stuff. You don't hear him complaining about things, and he's present. He's there. On Sunday, he's playing. So that's very, very important. Sean Tucker had 50 carries last year for 300 yards, 6 yards a carry. From what I saw, he's a great change-up guy, okay? So the Bucs have 3 legitimate runners. Nobody else can ask for more than that. But you need to get Tristan Wirfs back here pretty quick. And they need to figure out what's their mentality going to be. Are they going to be a running team, or is Baker going to, throw the ball 45 times a game? I think it's a great time for them to develop that run mentality and go out there and tote the pill, especially early in the season. DJ Williams is on their depth chart as well. I don't know anything about him. He was here last year and didn't have any statistics. Now, the tight end position, I think that's one of the positions that we can definitely improve at. It's been a while since we've had, since Gronkowski maybe, since we've had a weapon at tight end. And people are saying, well, Kate Otten was good last year. No, he wasn't. Kate Otten last year had spurts of being okay. But as a whole, he was not that great last year. And I looked up Kate Otten's year, and Kate Otten had 59 receptions. He was banged up a little bit. But here's the thing. He had 59 receptions, but 30 of the 59 receptions were in 4 games. So his season went like this. We need some consistency, all right? In 4 games, he had 30 receptions in 4 games. You got to keep that going throughout the 17 weeks. Well, we need 70 receptions out of Kate Otten, not 40. That's not enough. And I don't know if somebody's on the roster that has 70 receptions on him. I don't think. Payne Durham at 11 receptions last year with a fantastic mustache. I don't know how big of a role he's going to play. He's a big body, 6'5". He's a big kid. Keefe, I don't know if he's a fullback or a tight end or what he is or a special teams guy, but he seems grimy to me, and he does all the grimy stuff. Not a big statistic guy, but you'll see him out there sometimes in short yardage. You see him out there at tight end. You'll see him out there at fullback. You need your Keefe type of a player, a special teams guy as well. And the one player that I saw towards the end of the year last year, and I've heard stories of him looking good in training camp, was Devin Culp. Devin Culp showed some promise towards the end of the year last year. He only had 5 receptions, but those 5 receptions were in the last 2 games of the season. So he kind of just emerged and kind of came onto the scene late. But, there's rumors that he's going to play a bigger role this year. But what I've seen of Culp in a limited role, I like what I saw as a weapon. Got a big body, good wingspan, and he's a big old target. So, I don't know with the new offensive coordinator if tight ends are a big part of it, if they're going to run the football, or what the deal is. But we need to get more out of our tight end, period. And when you get a lot out of your tight end, boy, that makes the job real easy for quarterbacks. You see a lot of quarterbacks are successful. It's hard to name me one of a quarterback that was uber successful and didn't have a tight end that they really loved. And I think Baker, for a couple of games, was feeling Otten. Then he fell in and fell out, and he has to figure out who's the guy out there, who's going to be, his bailout guy, because that tight end can definitely be that bailout guy. Now, I haven't been to any training camp practices yet. August 2nd, the Legends, which were the former players, they call us the Legends. We've been invited to training camp August 2nd, so I'll be there with my son. So I'll get a chance to talk to you guys a little bit about what I saw. You don't normally get a chance to see too much in practice, but I'll get the vibe a little bit and see how the boys look, and maybe I get a chance to see Tristan Wirfs out there. I don't know, but you gotta be optimistic about the season. I'm not the bubbly type of cat. I'm the realistic guy. And once again, if everything works out as far as injuries go, and it hasn't been a great start yet, if everything work out injuries wise, I don't see a reason why these Buccaneers don't compete for something anyways. I'm over here at the Dignitary Cafe all the time. If you're looking for the best kava and kratom and coffee or this place to hang out, we're better than Starbucks. It's just a lot easier and chill. And we're also 420 friendly. So come check us out, 4817 Southwest Shore Boulevard. Things look up for our Buccaneers. Let's just stay healthy. Everybody have a wonderful week, and please stay safe. Peace out.
Some lawyers want to look like superheroes on a billboard, but which lawyers are regarded as superheroes in the courtroom? Trust the expertise of board certification.
Call Manny and Gordon or visit us at fightnegligence.com.